What's going on, y'all? This is Elijah here, coming at you with another video from the Uber Lifestyle, the spot where you can get all the information you need about rideshare in one convenient spot or place. In this video, a lot of y'all have been talking about you've been doing Uber X for a good minute, but what about Uber Eats? So we're actually going to get into that today because a few months ago I had a little shocking revelation, and it's definitely something that y'all need to know about. Now, I do have my notes set like right here in front of me, so if you see me look away at the screen, I'm just going back to my notes, right? But a few months ago, I went to this delivery doing Uber Eats, and the restaurant was closed down. And apparently they didn't take it off the app yet, so I went there, looked for the restaurant, saw that it was closed down, called Uber support. They confirmed by calling the restaurant, no answer, so boom. They pretty much said, we're gonna pay you for this order, for your wait time, etc. But the guy on the phone said something interesting. He said that I was one of the top Uber Eats drivers. And I was thinking, really? Because I only do Uber Eats part-time, some weeks full-time, if I got an audiobook I want to knock out. But I was thinking, how can I be one of the top drivers? Because I'm not doing anything magnificent or anything. So I sat there, and afterwards I started becoming an Uber Eats customer. So I would order things off Uber Eats. And when people would bring me my food, I noticed they weren't doing things that I was doing. So it's just like Uber X. People that don't have any training, it's not their fault. So in this video, the theme of this video can be summed up in really one word: efficiency. We got all kinds of other things you can learn, and we'll cover that in other videos, but those are more icing on the cake. What you really need to learn first is efficiency and how to get that off the ground. So before we jump into it, we're gonna take care of some administrative stuff. This is stuff before you even hit the road you need to have taken care of. Track your mileage. There are several apps out there that will allow you to track your mileage, okay? The one I personally use is the Stride app, which it can be used to find you health insurance too, but that's another video. But I track my mileage using Stride. There's a Mile IQ app. There are a lot of apps out there. Stride is the free option, so go ahead and get started with that if you're not tracking your mileage. Uber tracks your mileage when you pick food up. But going to the restaurant, you want to track your mileage because taxes are going to be your largest expense, and tracking your mileage can greatly minimize your tax responsibility, okay? So make sure you're tracking your mileage. Next thing is have your navigation set up. Please do not use the Uber navigation. I repeat, don't use the Uber navigation, okay? It just isn't the best navigation. I personally use Waze, and I'm gonna get into that, why I use it right now. The benefit of Waze comes in different forms. Yes, there's the turn to turn, and it'll get you to your spot faster, but just like Uber X, Uber Eats has hotspots, areas where it's best to go if you want to get a ping. Now those hotspots, you can save those hotspots in your Waze app. So anytime you finish a delivery, you tap the closest hotspot you're near and you go ahead and start heading there. So you always stay moving towards the money. If you don't instantly get a ping, or you get a ping in the middle of freaking nowhere, you can go ahead and start heading back to that hotspot. So that's why I highly recommend Waze. That's just the biggest feature in response to this video, but it does have other features, but I'll make a separate Waze video in the future. But have those two administrative things taken care of, right? Now we're gonna actually get into the bulk of when we actually get out there and start delivering, all right? Now let's cover actually picking up the food. Obviously you're gonna get a ping. When you get a ping, you accept it, you head to the restaurant. Now, when you get to the restaurant, there's already some stuff you can do right there to make things go faster. One of the big things I recommend is having a Uber or Uber Eats t-shirt, because you're going to walk in there and they're going to instantly identify. You won't even have to talk to the staff or walk around the line or anything like that. They're going to see Uber. They know you're there to pick up that food. Makes things much more efficient. It could shave maybe a minute or two off you even being in the restaurant. And the shorter time you're in the restaurant, the faster you can get your customer your food, the faster you can move on to your next delivery. Everyone wins, including the restaurant. See? Next thing, And this one really trips me out because sometimes I go to the restaurant and I see other drivers there. Who? I'm the only one with the insulated bag. You get an insulated bag free just for signing up for Uber Eats. If you haven't picked it up from your hub, you need to go pick it up, all right? But most people have an insulated bag, but they don't bring it in with them. Not only does that help the restaurant identify you right off the bat, but in the DFW right now, it is like 19 degrees. And it's the daytime. I know that is insane. But you're exposing people's food to 19-degree weather while you walk back to your car and then put it in the bag. Now, if it's 19 degrees, do you think that's gonna put a dent in the temperature? Hell yeah. So they're gonna get their food. It's not gonna be hot, or it might be slightly warm. But if it's cold, then you are not getting a tip, and you're probably not getting a good rating. Because a lot of times they're gonna see that as a fault on the restaurant, and sometimes the driver too. So do everything you can to make sure their food gets there at the right temperature. Okay. So take the insulated bag with you when you get the order. Put it in the bag before you even get outside. Biggest tip when it comes to pickups. Wait time fees. All right, what is a wait time fee? If you wait longer than 15 minutes, Uber will give you a reimbursement for it in most areas. You have to go inside the app after you finish the trip and let Uber know I waited longer than 15 minutes. They're gonna track your phone to confirm this, and if your phone was there longer than 15 minutes, they'll give you the reimbursement. Now, this accomplishes two things. First thing, you're getting paid for that wait time, but the second thing is, if too many drivers do this, do you think Uber is gonna let this keep happening? They're gonna get on the restaurant and say, look, you're cutting into our bottom line. Time when you tap that button to send a driver there better. So it's helping my fellow Uber driver too. Anytime you wait longer than 15 minutes and you don't report it, you're doing all of us a disservice. So go ahead and report it, get your money, and then the restaurant's gonna have to step their game up so we won't be sitting there waiting. Win-win for everyone, including Uber, obviously. Now, we're gonna get into when you start the trip and start heading to the start heading to the customer. But big tip, the moment you slide that begin trip, you are gonna be able to be monitored from the customer's phone, okay? So don't press it until you are back in the car. Like once you get the food, some people start the trip, then don't, okay? Because you're not gonna be moving until you get back in the car and drive off. That could be a minute or two depending on how far away you parked. You will appear like you're sitting still. People are hungry. They're looking at their phone like, man, what is this cat doing? Start the trip when you're in the car and on the way to go drop the food off. They see you heading towards them, everything runs smooth, okay? Don't start it when you pick up the food at the restaurant, when you're about to drive off. After you start the trip, you're gonna be notified exactly where the person is going, well, where you're going, obviously. But more important, you're gonna be notified in a lot of cases if they're gonna be in a residential area with houses or if they're gonna be in an apartment. Now, if they are in an apartment, there's several things that can kind of slow you down that you can go ahead and avoid right off the cusp by doing a few simple things. You confirm they're in an apartment because it says apartment number or whatever. First thing you want to do is look in the instructions and see if they've left you any useful information. Sometimes they do, and if that's the case, use it. Now, make sure that the instructions have a gate code, because most people just count on you going through the tailgating another car. You don't want to do that, okay? That's completely dependent on the next person that's coming in. That could be a few minutes. You might get lucky. It might be like someone's going in as you get in, but no, don't depend on that. The moment you identify they're in an apartment, if they don't have the instructions under the they don't have the gate code in the instructions, I send this text message you see on the screen, basically explaining I'm your Uber Eats driver. I see you're in an apartment. Is there a gate code I'm going to need? Because some apartments don't actually have gate codes. But a lot of times when you send this text, most of the time they're gonna send you a text back giving you the gate code. Once again, it's a win-win. You get to move on to your next delivery faster, and they get their food faster. Win-win. So that's one thing that you got to do to minimize that time expense. Because you don't want to be sitting around waiting for nothing. Anytime you're sitting around waiting for no reason, you are losing money. Okay. Once you actually get to the place or location where you're dropping the food off, in most houses, or if it's in a building or something, a lot of times it's pretty plain and simple. You drive up and you find it very simple. A little note, when you start driving up, let's say if it's in a residential area, as you're approaching, go ahead and look on both sides of the street. See evens on the left side, odds on the right side. That way you already know which side to get out on. Okay? Now, if they're in apartments. Now, there's a few things to take into consideration. You can call them if you start getting lost, but I don't recommend you do it immediately. Because some people might consider that annoying. Our generation of millennials, we just text everything, all right? A lot of times we don't like to be on the phone unless it's absolutely necessary, so they might perceive that to be a little annoying. So try and find it yourself first. You'll get better and better as you keep doing deliveries. But if you can't find it, then go ahead and give them a call. Or if you get to the spot and no one's answering, wait about a minute, then call. Because you do want to start the process where if for some reason you can't get in touch with them, Uber puts the timer on and you wait 5 more minutes. And if they still don't get back in touch with you, you complete the trip and you'll still be paid for that order. So you do want to begin that process as soon as possible, but you don't want to annoy the customer because you'll reduce your chance of getting the tip. Okay? Here's the biggest thing, and I actually have not seen this to this day, and it's a problem. When I order Uber Eats as a customer, people bring the food to the spot, okay? And it's just the food. I don't see the insulated bag. Oh, that is a problem, okay? Most of them do have a bag, I'm pretty sure. But it stays in the car. Once again, you're exposing that food to whatever temperature it is outside, and that's not cool, number one. Number two, since Uber Eats drivers, most of them aren't showing you the bag. If you show up with the bag, it makes the customer think you went an extra mile to keep their food the temperature they wanted, which means the chances of you getting the tip is gonna be a lot higher, and the chances of you getting higher rated is also gonna be higher. Now, ratings in general, they don't mean that much for Uber Eats, but that's why old boy said that I was one of the top rated Uber Eats drivers, because of stuff like that. But the important part here is you are going to get higher tips if they think you went an extra mile. Let me tell you about this story. I was picking up this pizza. It was steaming hot. When I say hot, I mean you saw the steam coming out the box. I slide into my insulated bag. When I brought it to the customer, when I opened the bag, steam came out. And then he was just like, his eyes widened like that. He's like, he couldn't wait to get to that pizza because he knew it was still steaming hot. Now, do you think if that scenario happens with you, you're gonna get a tip? Yeah, that pizza is still hot. They like that. You don't seem like the average Uber Eats driver, okay? You seem above average and you care about that person. They are going to tip you for that. This is where you'll finish your day. Then you wake up and you have random like $2, $3 deposited in your account. It's because people ate their food, it was hot, they enjoyed it, then they tipped you. Best feeling in the world. So make sure you take that insulated bag with you so they see that you went that extra mile when technically you didn't, but they don't know that. Plus, after this video goes viral, everyone's gonna start doing it. And then if you're not doing it, it's gonna be like, where's your insulated bag, homie? Then you're definitely not getting the tip because you're gonna be falling behind the curve. So once that's complete, you basically complete the delivery and then bam. Everything I just mentioned falls under making everything more efficient in your book as an Uber Eats driver. And you will see a difference in your pay because your tips are gonna go up, and you'll see the difference because you'll be able to get to your next delivery faster and the customers will have a much better experience. That covers it for this video. I might do a series 2 or part 2, but that covers the main points on what makes you a professional, advanced Uber driver. I already have other videos, explaining like the first day, etc. But this is taking your stuff for your skills to the next level, right? This is Elijah here. If you got any questions, head to the uberlifestyle.com and click on Uber Eats. It's Elijah. Peace out.